How do I extend the QuietWarmth mat lead wires to reach the thermostat? Each mat has 15 feet of lead wires attached on them from the factory. Most times, this is enough to route the leads properly to the thermostat junction box. In the case of large area installations, 15 feet lead wires may not be enough to reach. In general, lead wires should not just be extended on the mat because it leaves inaccessibility to the lead wires, oftentimes covered beneath the floor. If the system is ever needed to be accessed, you would have to remove the flooring to gain access to wires. The best practice is to use gang junction boxes, and these are also called intermediate junction boxes. And basically, these junction boxes allow the lead wires from a few mats to be joined in parallel in the first junction box and then run a pigtail to the other junction box where the remaining mats will be wired in parallel with a pigtail running up to the thermostat. Now remember, a licensed electrician can help with all of these electrical wiring needs. So plan the number of mats and the thermostat placement as best you can based on how the lead wires will flow. The thermostat placement, in this example, is in the far right corner of the room. The farthest mat's lead wires will not reach that far. The use of an intermediate junction box in this case will extend the connection on a few of the mats while offering safe accessibility to the system wires for any future needs.
Another illustration is to use a gang junction box with multiple mats, like this bedroom. Spot heating around the bed with mats, the 15-foot lead wires on the far mat in this bedroom are not long enough to reach where the thermostat will be placed. By running its lead wires to an intermediate junction box within reach, they can then be connected to the rest of the mats on the other side of the room. Another example is this layout of a main room as well as a hallway. Once again, all of the wires cannot reach the junction box due to the number of mats and size of the room. An intermediate junction box will help extend the lead wires of the mats that will not reach to the junction box below the thermostat. This allows one thermostat to control all of the mats at the same time while maintaining an access point to all the mat wires. Of course, your options don't end here. With the use of an intermediate junction box, possible mat configurations greatly increase, which means finding the right placement for your space while still having access to all the mat wires becomes that much easier to achieve.
It's always a good idea to read the entire installation guide prior to installing and follow all local and national codes.